voluntary Eily will not make Temurah. We never heard that. We were learning all Karbanos make Temurah. So, Amalei Eilis Nadav Namik, even the Kibla of the Temurah. The Gemara answers, who is this that's responding? Rava. Rava is responding to Menachem by Yitzchak. Look, the guy accepted it on himself. Once he took the vow, so it becomes a chayva, becomes obligatory.
Even though in the beginning it was voluntary.
Right. The Gemara says, this is only necessary to talk about. This is only necessary. Because then every time a person brings a carbon, he accepts it on himself. So how do you have a carbon that's not a chayva? You always accept it. That's right. So we're saying what we're talking about is an Eila haba min ha-maisus. Now, Eila haba min ha-maisus is like this. If a person designates money for a carbon chatas, this is a normal case, separates money for a carbon chatas, and he buys a carbon chatas with the money, but when he comes home, he sees he has more change. So the chatas didn't cost as much as he designated. So with that extra money, it goes as it's called Eila haba min ha-maisus. It's a Eila, you buy an Eila that comes from the extra money from the change. Okay. So my kasavar. I kasavar la kamandamar maestros nidvas tzibar azli. How does this work? Is that considered nidvas tzibar, that it's a community offering? It goes, you actually put that money in the pushkas over there in the temple. There were these shayfras, so you put the money in the air and the community buys offerings with it. So then pshita d'layav de Temurah. Then I don't need that. You see, we had four criteria here of what doesn't make Temurah. One of them was it needs to be an individual. It can't be a tzibur. Another one was it needs to be obligation. It can't be a donation. So here it can't be one that's not obligatory. So here we have an example of something that's not obligatory. The problem is that example that's not obligatory is a community offering. So it's excluded from because of another rule. So pshita have the Temurah, ain't Temurah b'tziver. Reb Shimon Svira le commandamar meisus nidus yachid azli. It's a private carbon. Man shamet le haisvara. Who holds that the extra money of a chatas is a private sacrifice? Man shamet le haisvara. Rabbi Eliezer. It's Rabbi Eliezer. The problem is Hashaminan le behed yadav the Temurah. The problem is Rabbi Eliezer holds that this does do Temurah. Rabbi Eliezer is the one that holds that it's a private sacrifice. The Tanya was taught in a brisa. Oila ba min ha-maisos, I said Temurah div Rabbi Eliezer. So if you're going to say it's a private sacrifice because you hold of Rabbi Eliezer, then you should accept Rabbi Eliezer that says that it makes Temurah. So the Gemara answers very simply. Reb Shimon Savela Kavasei B'chada, Palaga ala B'chada. He argues, he holds of it of Rabbi Eliezer that it's a private one. But it doesn't have to accept that that you can do Temurah. The Rabbi Eliezer savar Eila ba min ha-maisos I said Temurah. V'yu savar ein I said Temurah. Okay. Now Dr. Stein here goes. If a donation offering doesn't do Temurah, yachi debayi not a bit. Cool. Yachi debayi Rabavin. This question that we had before from Rabbi, this complicated question which Rabbi took apart. If someone separates an asham for an atonement, the hamer by, and he did Temurah, it's a violation. But now he has another sacrifice hanging around, and then he wanted to go to bring it the asham, but he lost it. And he had to bring a different carbon for the asham. Then the one that he lost resurfaces, and it shows up. So v'nitik zel Eila. So this one becomes an Eila. So we're considering this animal maestros now because it's like an extra animal that's left over. So is this a carbon yachid or a carbon tzibur? So we asked the question. Our question back by Rabavin was, do we say that you can do Temurah a second time because it's a different animal and it's also a different type of kedusha? Your first Temurah was on an asham. This is now an Eila. So that was our question. The problem
you couldn't because
we answered with teikus that we had. If you say this, then what about that? And then we left off with the teiku, I think. But the problem over here is, why do you have a question? Let's see. What can you go back and do Temurah on the Eila? Ali b'daman. Who is it? We asking. Eily Ali b'der Reb Shimon. Are we going according to Reb Shimon? Amr Reb Shimon's really Eila b'aman and Meiser saying I said Temurah. Reb Shimon holds it doesn't do Temurah. It's not an obligation offering. It's an extra offering. Ravavin hachikami b'Eily. Here's Ravavin's question. I mishkachas Tana the koik Reb Shimon. If you're going to find a Tana that goes like Reb Shimon, Damar ein memirin v'chayzin memirin, that says that you can't do Temurah twice on the same animal, right? It gets diluted, and now you can't do another Temurah. But will also hold like Rabbi Lezer that says that a Eila that comes from Meisris can do Temurah. Are we saying that it's a Karban Yachid as well? Yeah. According to those opinions, which we're going to have to come up with, it holds like this and holds like that. So what's going to be b'shnei gufim nekdusha achas? If it used to be an asham, and now I'm sorry, if you replaced shnei gufim nekdusha achas, if it got a mum and I had to replace the animal, so can I do Temurah on the new animal? It's missing some words here. This is throwing us into those two lishnas over here. What about if I have two bodies with two kedushas? Because it got a mum, I have a new animal, and then it got lost, and now it's an Eila. So what about then? Two bodies with two different kedushas. Can I do Temurah over there? Why? And the Gemara finishes with the word tibai. It's a question.
It's a good question.
Rashi says, Lashon Yerushalmi. Look at the Rashi. Lashon Yerushalmi can I take a Lashon Bavli. That's a teiko in the Yerushalmi. Tibai. I didn't know that. Let me put that down. We'll start the next Mishnah. So we'll get into today's daf. Yesh b'karbanos yachid. There are qualities about a karban yachid, a private karban, she'ein b'karbanos tzibur, that are not applicable to community sacrifices. Yesh b'karbanos tzibur, she'ein b'karbanos yachid. And there are qualities of a karban tzibur that don't apply to a karban yachid. Karbanos yachid oiseh Temurah. A karban yachid can do Temurah. This was an easy one for us because we just learned this. Then Karbanos tzibur oiseh Temurah. Community sacrifices can't do Temurah. You can't exchange a community sacrifice for another one. Karbanos yachid naihagais bein b'zachar and bein b'nekevus. Private sacrifices could be male or female. Now, the Gemara is assuming right here, the Mishnah is going to assume when it reads this right away that what it means is that every private sacrifice you always have a choice. The Gemara is going to come out and say that's not what the Mishnah means. It means that I have both types of sacrifices. Some are Zachar and some are Nekev. But however, Karbanos tzibur ein nayigan ela b'zacharim. Karbanos tzibur are only Zachar. Because most of them are Eilas and Eilas are Zachar. And the shlamim that we bring on Shavuos is a zachar as well. Okay. Karbanos yachid chayavim b'achrayus son u'b'achrayus neskeyim. Karbanos yachid, because they don't have a set time, if you didn't bring it when you said you're going to bring it, because you have to bring it afterwards. However, Karbanos tzibur ein chayavim b'achrayus u'malei b'achrayus neskeyim. Karbanos tzibur is different because they always have a set time. So if you miss the time, it's over. Right? They always have a set date. However, if you do bring the sacrifice and you didn't bring the nesachim, you can bring it later. Let's go the opposite. There are qualities in a karban tzibur that don't apply to a karban yachid. That we know. You bring community sacrifices on Shabbos, Tamid, right? It pushes off tumah as well. Let's say the community is impure, you bring that anyway. But karban yachid does not push off Shabbos. It's never private sacrifices on Shabbos, and also doesn't push off tumah. Amar Reb Meir, Rabbi Meir has a little issue with this. It says, "V'lei chaviti kain gadol partial Yom Kippurim." The mincha that was brought every day of the kain gadol was divided in half. It's called chaviti kain gadol, half in the morning, half in the afternoon. Rabbi Meir is saying that this is a private sacrifice and it's brought on Shabbos. And the par of Yom Kippur, which is considered a private sacrifice of Aaron, Parishal Aaron it's called, and it's Karban Yachid, and V'deichen as Shabbos V'esatuma. Elash Shizmane Kavua. The reason doesn't have to do with private or community. It has to do with, does it have a set time? If it has a set time, then you'll bring it even on Shabbos. Let me go a drop further. Karban Yachid.
Why don't you just say, but although it was private, it was done on behalf of the tzibur? It's not really a private.
Yeah, that's the machlekes what it's considered. It's considered private.
How does Korban Pesach from Pesach Sheni fit into this?
That's a private sacrifice, right? Let's just do another line or two. A little thing over here. Karban Yachid, I said Temurah. Karban Yachid, we said does Temurah. The Gemara says a klalahu. Bari Yoifas to Karban Yachid, Veinai said Temurah. Why are you saying every private Karban can do Temurah? It's not true. A bird that's a private, it doesn't. It says Kiktani b'behema. We're talking about Kiktani b'behema Ktani. We're talking about an animal. For Ivlad the Karban Yachid Veinai said Temurah. But what about the offspring? That's also an animal. And that doesn't do Temurah. So Samani Rabbi Yehudi, Damar Avlad said Temurah. No, we're going with Rabbi Yehudi that says that it does. Okay, so we covered everything. Very Temurah Atzma the Karban Yachid Vein Temurah said Temurah. What about if an animal is Temurah already? It can't make another Temurah off it, right? And you said that all Karban Yachid can. So it says Kiktani Bikir Zivcha. We're talking about the original sacrifice. It's a Ktani. The Gemara says Hashdas Alachi Afilu Temurah Rabbanan Bikir Zivcha Ktani. Once you've answered that answer, so now even if you say that it's not Rabbi Yehuda that says a Vlad can do Temurah, so we don't have to say that our Mishnah is that Rabbi Yehuda. We could say that we're talking about the main sacrifice. The Mishnah wasn't talking about every possible scenario. It's talking about all original sacrifices. All of those can do Temurah. We'll leave it here.
If anybody can just bring one or two items into the shul, then we...
I'm going to